In the year of our Lord, 1701, the Republic of Venice went to war with the sovereign monarchy of Ralston. This war was over passage rights through the Adriatic Sea, though this point will rarely be brought up when the war is discussed by future historians. It was, like most wars, overstretched and too costly. Neither side could afford it, nor would they back down. Many lives were lost, and whatever the outcome, each nation would nurse its wounds for some time. The war raged on for 6 years, draining both countries' resources, but the Republic of Venice was older than Ralston and had deeper pockets. In a war of attrition, they would win, and both sides knew it. 3 generals from Ralston, 2 brothers and a close friend, came together to strategize, and came up with nothing. They would not win this war. In desperation, one reached out to a dark power and was told to make pilgrimage to Golgotha. With no other avenue, they spent 1 month sailing to the walls of Jerusalem, where they docked under cover of darkness. On the hill where the man named Jesus died, they met a figure, too old to identify as man or woman. It offered them a book, an already ancient thing made of pale leathers and filled with symbols that hurt their eyes to look upon. The thing smiled as they took it, a smile made of too many teeth. Full of dread for what they had seen and what they were about to do, they sailed for another month to get home. Things had gone badly in the time they were away. Soon they would have to surrender, and Ralston would fall into decline, one it was unlikely to survive. Whatever doubt the men had about using the knowledge in that book, their mind was set now. They cast its pages open and chanted dark incantations. And lo, did the dead walk upon the earth that night. Undead sailors hauled themselves into the Venetian boats. Soldiers dragged themselves from battlefields and clawed up from shallow graves to drive the Venetians from the land. The war was won. The Venetians could not fight Ralston's impossible numbers. They surrendered, the book was shut, and the dead were dead once more. The book was destroyed, but the world had noticed. Ralston had dark magic, and no shame in using it. Many enemies, without and within, were born that day. 1711. 3 years later, a child was born to one of the generals involved in unleashing the spell. A beautiful baby girl. The night you were born, a blood moon hung low in the sky. Shepherds took their flocks in, and old women lit candles in windows to ward off such an ill omen. You were taken from your mother, and left with a nursemaid for your first few days in this world. She was a kindly girl from the town's poor quarters. While your paths crossed every few years, she has never reintroduced herself. Seeing you always cheers her up, and she is content with that. You were born into wealth and status, and had all you could wish for. But your parents never had another child, and your father was often preoccupied with his work. Your mother, distant, sickly and delirious, you heard another mother say. Hoffman, the family steward, raised you more than they. It was a lonely childhood. 1718. You are 8 years old. You play with friends from school, 2 poorer boys, Diedrich and Flip. Your father disapproves. You play in the graveyard outside the city. Nobody goes there without an armed guard. But children do not care for such things. Children are small and fast and can outrun Ghoul, at least when the sun is up. One day, as you play, you hear a rustling coming from some trees. You all freeze. Then a stone whizzes out of the green and hits you on the head. You stare in disbelief, a slow trickle of blood running down your face, partially blocking sight from your left eye. The leaves part. Your cousin Lucas, 10 years your senior, steps out. His father is your father's older brother and has been away for a long time. Lucas has been sent here ahead of his planned return and is staying with you. You don't know him well, but he seems angry. He says nothing, but tosses another stone in his hand menacingly. You talk him down.
Why are you being such an ass to me? I didn't send you away from your family. I don't even want you here. Nobody wants you, it seems.
That got to him. He began crying. He was, like you, lonely and lost, trying to impress a father who wasn't paying attention. In the time that followed, you grew closer. As close to a brother as you had. Certainly closer to one another than either of you were to your fathers. That night you are woken by voices outside your window. You look out. You can see the graveyard, though you know it's normally on the other side of the house and too far away to see. In it, 2 people dig up a grave. Despite the distance and lack of light, you can make out the name on the tombstone. Your father's. One of the people stops. Then, and without moving their body in any way, they turn their head to look at you. You do not recognize them. They grin an unearthly grin at you, so eerie that it wakes you from your sleep. By morning, you have forgotten it all. Years later, you catch sight of yourself in a mirror, and the memory of this dream comes back to you as you suddenly realize that the face staring at you had been your own. The one you have now as an adult. 1721. One morning, your mother comes to your school. She takes you out, even though classes are not finished. She says everything is okay, but you do not believe her. Her presence alone is the warning. Your mother never comes to your school. When you were too young to go alone, Hoffman brought you. Now you travel alone. She has never come here. She brings you around the town. First you stop to buy sugared apples. Then she takes you shopping. new clothes, new books, new toys, a luggage trunk. She brings you to the castle, and with some whispered words and coins exchanged, the guard lets you into the grounds. You go to the pond and throw bread and watch fish pop their heads up to steal from the ducks. You walk the city walls, and the two of you take in the view. The sea to the west, the hills to the south, the forest to the east and north, and beyond the northern tree line, the road that leads to the capital.
That,
She tells you through teary eyes,
is where you're going. You won't understand until you're older. Maybe not even then. You need more than I can give you, more than I can be.
You protest. She cries. When she stops crying, she doesn't remember where you are, how you got there. A watchman brings you home. There your father glares at you, angry that you upset your mother, angry at your non-compliance. Hoffman brings you to your room to help you put your new clothes and books and toys into your new trunk. He tells you that she loves you, that this is for the best. A few days later, your carriage rides out of town. In your children's stories, events like this happen on rainy days, but today is sunny and clear-skied. As the carriage crests a hill, you can look back towards the city and see it all. The farms, the walls, the groves, the castle, the seas. Your home. How do you feel as you are taken away?
I hurt a deep wound of betrayal. My parents are supposed to look after me, not discard me.
1722. A year has passed, more quickly than you might have expected. Winter's first snow falls lightly outside. You watch from your dorm and reflect on your time here. You are thankful for the library here. Books have been your salvation. You look at the collection of books scattered around you now. Buried under them are the books your mother bought you over a year ago. You have read them many times. You miss her. 1725. Your schooling is done now. Your time here is over. You spent much of this year deciding what to do next. In the end, you decided to continue with education. You are unsure where this will lead you, but you wanted a life of experimentation and discovery. This was more important to you than riches. With your path decided, you found you had time before your training began, so you made the trip home to visit your parents and tell them of your plans. Your travel home feels faster than it was leaving. Perhaps mindset, perhaps age, perhaps because you have done it once already and can spy milestones. Whatever the reason, you arrive home to your mother and Hoffman awaiting you. Your father is not there, but joins you for dinner that evening. It had been 4 years since you were home. Not a long time for some, but a quarter of your life. You had this idea that you had matured, changed so much in that time, but... Your attempts to gain access to the library's restricted area are rejected. The master there refuses you. Those books are not for children. You tell her of the books available to you in the school, and of your studies, and how you are able for the secrets hidden in her library's vaults, but she assures you that your mind is not ready for what you would find within. Despite this, it is good to be home again, to see your friends and family. You have a good summer. As you leave for your new training, you wonder how long until you come home next, and how you will have changed by then. 1727. You are nearly 2 years into your training now, and it goes largely as expected. You miss home, but the pangs grow less as time passes. One day, you learn that your class has been granted an audience with the great scientist Isaac Newton. When you enter his home in Hampshire, a young lady, his niece you later learn, brings you into the drawing room where he is having afternoon tea. A teacher and 11 students entered the room ahead of you, and you could hear the great man welcoming them. As you entered, you noted he no longer had the flowing white locks you'd seen in paintings. He was bald, and his skin was sunken. Still, he composed himself well as he greeted the others. Then he came to you. He looked at you a moment, eyes wide and mouth bearing teeth. He pointed a bony finger at you and screeched,
"Who is this with whom death walks? Why have you taken the Reaper to me? My time is not nigh, and I shall not go. Begone, herald of the Death Angel!"
The old man continued to shriek at you, going so far as to throw tea at you. You left. A classmate told you he took some calming down before he would continue with the talk, and seemed hurried and distracted throughout. Word reached you a month later that Newton had died. It was peaceful, in his sleep, and said to be of natural complications in line with his deteriorating health. A few days later, a letter arrives telling you that a civil war of sorts has broken out in your homeland. A lich, a powerful undead sorcerer, has begun raising the dead and marches on the capital. So far, its armies show no sign of moving out of Ralston, but Venetian and Habsburg forces are amassing on their respective borders to repel anything that tries to cross them. You spend the next year following the news as it comes, conflicting reports in newspapers and the occasional letter from home. Eventually, word reaches you that the Lich has been defeated, that its forces collapsed as the final blow was struck. Your father was at that battle, as was your uncle. You learn your uncle was wounded, but is well. Neither man died, though the same cannot be said for thousands of others in the country. Many times you think of your terrible meeting with Newton. You read up on his other work, his alchemical and eschatological studies, his scouring of the Bible for clues to the nature of existence, and cannot help but wonder what he had read that led him to see your nation's struggle in your face before word of it had reached you. 1729. Your training complete, you land your first post. An archaeological dig in Herculaneum hires you to help with the excavation. Herculaneum was buried alongside Pompeii when Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD. Found by chance in 1709, groups had been going there to dig what they could from the ash. You expect it to be delicate, slow work, but the men who hired you dig tirelessly and aggressively. When they find anything, they call you. Is it of value? If yes, it is kept. If not, they hurl it aside. They are looters. You are a looter. I cannot believe I've been tricked like this. I help as little as possible, lying to them about the value of items. I hope to come back someday with a real team and properly excavate this place. 1731. You are through the early years of your career now. You have earned some recognition and accolades, some time from work, and a purse are made available to you. As you take some time to enjoy this leave, a terrible thing happens to you. A hunting trip results in a terrible stomach wound. You had ridden out to a nearby forest with 2 friends. When the trail got too dense to bring the mounts any further, you tied them up and carried on foot. You walked for another half hour in silence to find a suitable glade, and then you all spread out. Each of you found some covering, and you settled in for a long wait. It was hard to measure time with the canopy blocking the sun, but you estimated you had been there for another 2 hours at least before you heard movement. A doe, a slight creature, had stopped to graze in the clearing. You steadied yourself and slowly raised your bow, but before you had a chance to let an arrow fly, Laszlo burst from his hiding place and shot at the creature. The doe raised up in surprise, so he only caught her in the flank. She threw her head up, shrieked in pain, and ran. Laszlo took flight after her, trying to knock another arrow as he went. You and Elsa exchanged glances before taking off after him. His shot must have struck something, as he was largely keeping pace with the creature. He fired a second shot that went wild, and a third that grazed her even more so than before. His fourth shot hit just as she went into some foliage, and so she crashed through it. Silence then. She was no longer running. Perhaps, you thought, he had taken her down. He advanced to check on his prey. There was sound from the brush. Could she only be wounded, not dead? As he neared, the undergrowth bursts open and a large thing stepped through. It was the shape of a stag, though it was twice the size, and shifted mercurially as if made of black ink flowing through water. A forest spirit. Lying behind it, the deer panted. She was alive. Whatever that spirit was, it was there to protect her. Laszlo fell backwards as its wild red eyes landed on him. It exhaled a deep, guttural grunt, and a dark mist poured from its nostrils. The creature reared up to crush him beneath it. You fired a shot to distract it. Your arrow went right through the ethereal stag, but did not seem to register. When the creature's blow missed Laszlo, it turned to you. It kicked a hind leg and lowered its head. Elsa was already running. You turned and ran too. Behind you, you heard the beast charge. You looked over your shoulder to see Laszlo had been able to scramble to his feet and was now running the other way. You also saw the spirit bearing down on you. As it neared, your foot snagged on something and you plummeted towards the forest floor. The sudden change in trajectory pulled you from the beast's path so you avoided the full impact. Instead, an antler caught your side, and you felt a searing white pain rush through your body. You were unconscious before you hit the ground. When you came to, Elsa and Laszlo were carrying you back to the horses, an arm over each shoulder. There was no sign of the stag spirit or the doe. you felt cold and damp. Your head sagged and you saw your tunic stained brown and red with blood. A lot of blood. You passed out again. You were on horse then. Elsa had you draped across her saddle as she rode you to town. As quickly as you regained consciousness, you lost it again. Then you awoke in a house. A doctor had patched you up. You had lost a lot of blood, but no serious damage was done. You recovered, but your stomach will be pocked forever by this. A memory of both how unlucky and lucky you were. 1733. When you learned of your father's death, you were... resting in your home. The ringing at the door alarmed you. It was late, too late for visitors. Unlikely an intruder would ring a bell, but nonetheless, you armed yourself. When you opened the door, the young woman must have seen your weapon, perhaps just your expression, and gasped. She apologized for delivering the news so late. The letter hit you hard. You fell to your knees there in the doorway, with that scared young woman, unsure what to say. Something changed in you then, and not for the better. I went numb. It seemed matter of fact to me. Of course he would die now, as my life gets going. It was very like him. I found myself thinking he had perhaps died now on purpose. A foolish thought. And yet... Now, days later, your carriage crests the hills towards Marnes, the sun blasting off the red and yellow bricks and rippling off the blue sea beyond. You are almost home. Home to see my mother, to support her in this terrible time.
Should we stop, madam?
Yes. Apart from this pair of fools annoying me.
Stay out of this. It is none of your business.
Thank you for helping me. I know you. You are the daughter of Zelig. Just a girl from the village yonder. I was collecting herbs when they waylaid me. The protection of the city is not there for all of us. And outside its walls, there are many men such as these.
This much of a words are true. In recent times, I never travel beyond the city without a weapon.
It was not. Those men are fools. Perhaps indeed. I think our paths shall cross right enough. Perhaps as allies. Though as friends, we shall see. I am sorry. It is a sad day, and Lord Zelig was a good man.
Be wary. Viserek dead the wolves are circling. The House of Van Eerstrik may have an important part in the future of the kingdom. Do not presume to know who your friends and enemies are.
Whoa there.
Welcome home, my lady.
I trust your journey was a pleasant one. If Madam wishes to go inside, I shall follow along with the luggage.
Away, ghost. Too tired to be haunted this day. Oh, my baby has returned. Your father will be so glad to see you. Your father. Your father. Oh. I am Juliana van Elstrik, your loving mother. Your father is dead?
Can I help you, my lady?
Can I help you, my lady? Can I help you, my lady? can I help you, my lady?
where is that damn cook? Zelig will be back soon and there's nothing to eat.
It is you! Oh, I saw the carriage pull up and hoped. You have become quite beautiful. It is good to see you. How are you? Well, yes, of course. The funeral. Terrible thing. I was at it. Shame you weren't. You would have liked... Well, yes. I'm Dietrich, your childhood best friend. A humble child of Mars. Oh, I'm sorry. Here I am years after seeing you and I'm no different. Foot and mouth, first opportunity. Well, there are plenty of offerings about the place. Look, meet me for a drink in Garnett's Tavern later. And we'll have a right proper catch-up. Yeah, sorry. You won't know her yet. She only bought it last year. It's the tavern on the other side of the river. Here. I'll mark it on your map. Try the docks, maybe? Or, try over at the academy. There's a school there and I think there are teachers short. There might be some work for a knowledgeable person such as you. Oh, yes. I saw a sign outside Garnett's this morning. Take a look at that. It might be a job advert. Here, I'll mark them all on your map.
You looks just like Master Lucas. know the schoolmaster?
Of course she does. Just got me into the ground is all. Your father, he's the one that died yesterday. Sorry. My father died way back before I was born.
I wasn't doing nothing. It wasn't me. I never.
Nick, stop that! I'm sorry. I'll make sure Nick tells Father Huber about this in his confession. We're just kids. We're school kids is all. Just waiting on a new teacher for lessons. It. We're as good as any kids. You ask Master Lucas.
Old one quit. Father haven't run away to do kisses forever.
We'd love to, but we're so hungry. We don't get much to eat. Only what the school can spare, and that ain't much. If we had some food, that'd give us the energy to fetch the schoolmaster. Surely it would.
Cousin, I am delighted to see you, though I only wish it were under better circumstances. So, what can I do for you, dear cousin? Yes, can you believe it? It was about as far as I could get from Father without actually running away. I am. Are you looking for work? I can't imagine finding a more suitable... Think on it, cousin, and come back to me. I could certainly use a trustworthy hand with my work here.
Bye.